this lesson, we will be reviewing the noun endings for the nominative, genitive, and vocative cases, as well as how they are used in Latin sentences. Additionally, we will learn how pronouns I and you are also used in these cases, as well as learning some new and different ways that pronouns and nouns can be used with the genitive case. We're going to pause and have you record all of the noun endings on a noun chart that you have in front of you so that you have those endings in your notes and can make reference to them throughout the course of the semester. So pause the video now so that you have a time to write these, or keep the video running and we'll go right into talking about cases and uses. I do want to point out that on this chart we are listing third declension I stem endings, which is not something that we had done in first year Latin. Notice that these endings look identical for the most part to third declension masculine and feminine and third declension neuter endings. There are some small changes at the genitive plural in both masculine, feminine, and neuter. The neuter also has a change in the nominative and accusative plural and in the neuter ablative singular from what we learned in first year Latin. You will always be told on a vocabulary list if the vocabulary is an I stem. Now we will review the names of the Latin cases and how each is used. Examples will be shown of how pronouns and nouns are used in these cases. Let's begin with the nominative case for both nouns and pronouns, which is used as subjects and predicate nouns. I am the Latin teacher. I is the subject, and the pronoun that would be used would be ego because that's the nominative form. In the second example, I is the predicate noun. The genitive case with nouns shows possession. Remember that in English we show possession with an apostrophe S. Like on the word kings in this sentence, the king's son committed a violent crime. The word kings would be written in the genitive case. If a noun in English follows the word of, like queen in this example sentence, that noun will also be written in the genitive case. Let's talk about the use of the genitive case with personal pronouns. It's a little bit different than it is with nouns. It is not used for showing possession, but rather as an object of a noun. This is called the objective genitive. A noun that names an action, like in this example, hatred, has to have an object. What do we hate? Your hatred of me or of us will never disappear. The phrase appearing right after hatred would be written in the genitive case, using the mei form or the nostri form, as we see in both examples. Here we see an example with the noun love, which is the name of an action, and its object is you. It will be written in the genitive case, vestri, as we see in the example. Tui in the singular. Vestri would be the plural. The objective use of the genitive is also used with nouns. In this sentence, love is the noun that asks for an object. Love what? Love of Latin. and so Latin will be written in the genitive case. In this next sentence, desire is the noun that requires an object. Glory is its object, and it must be written in the genitive case. The genitive case with personal pronouns has another use to express the part of a whole, which is referred to as the partitive genitive. For example, many of us will go to the forum today. Many is a part of all, and so after the word many, we have a genitive expression. The pronoun, the personal pronoun, uses the nostrum or the westrum form to communicate the partitive genitive. This partitive genitive use is also applicable with nouns. For example, few of the students. We would write students in the genitive form. Most of the time this will just appear as a genitive case noun because of the word of in our heads. That's the way we'll think about it. But its official title is called the partitive genitive. Now let's talk specifically about how we show possession with a personal pronoun, or how do I say my or your or ours. To express this type of possession, we use the possessive adjectives. These words are the words for my, meus aum, your, which is tuus aum, our, noster, nostra, nostrum, and your, wester, westra, westrum. When I want to say my mother loves your sister, I have to take the word my, which is an adjective, and make it describe mother. When I want your to describe sister, I would do the same. Or in the second sentence, your would be plural, and in the third, I would use our. Here we need to remember that adjectives describe nouns with the same number, case, and gender. Let's remember the vocative case and how it is used and some special circumstances surrounding how it is written. The vocative case is used when addressing someone. Often a vocative case noun will be the second or third word in a Latin sentence, surrounded by commas. Most of the time, it looks exactly the same as the nominative, except in these specific circumstances. With names like Brutus, Maximus, or nouns like Dominus or Servus, the vocative case ends with E instead of looking exactly like the nominative. Some second declension masculine nouns end with the letters ius, like these: Julius, Cornelius, Filius. To write these nouns in the vocative case, simply remove the us from the nominative form, so we end up with Julie, or Corneli, or Fili. Remember that when we write the vocative plural, it looks exactly the same as the nominative. This concludes our lesson on the nominative, genitive, and vocative cases, new uses, as well as review. Please return to the Schoology classroom and use the Quizlet flashcards which I've provided for you to help you practice the information that you have learned and need to review for this lesson.